Right. Now, M23 is a group of rebels allegedly backed by Rwanda, and they basically took control of the city of Goma over the last few days, and yesterday attacked several embassies, including those of Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, South Africa, and the US. There's a story on exactly what happened there, but of course, luckily, no staff, no Kenyans were hurt or injured during the commotion. Two staff members were on site and managed to escape, but other than that, there were no injuries reported. Now, as far as what's going on, there's been about 100 deaths and approximately 1,000 injuries, which have overwhelmed the local hospitals, displacement of over 500,000 people as this happens.
And as we look at that, we're looking at the displacement that only happened in January alone. That is 500,000 people. And I don't know why the world is not on a standstill, because when something happens to Africa, it seems that the rest of the world is working just fine. If it was something happening in London or somewhere in Eastern Europe or the United States of America, maybe the world would have stood still, and you'd find that maybe just 10 people have been displaced or 100 people have been displaced would have been a matter of national concern. One thing that I can point a finger towards is African media and its silence, international media and its silence towards Congo. And of course, as you look at that, infrastructure and other services were actually disrupted. Things like electricity, water, and internet access have been disrupted. Reports also indicate widespread looting of medical and food supplies, further straining resources within different cities in DRC.
That's
particularly Goma.
Particularly in Goma. Now, of course, what this means for the people of Goma is, loss of life, a lot of displacement, of course, sexual assault, all that happens during times of war and conflict. And like you said before, it's a country that has seen so much conflict over the years that you just wonder when they'll be able to catch a break. And again, goes back to what you said about colonial boundaries being drawn arbitrarily with no regard for who lives where, who is part of what community. Same thing that happened with us. A lot of what is now the northern frontier, ideally was in Somalia, quote unquote. Then it was Kenya. And then you find people saying, we want to go back, but you can't go back because the boundary has been drawn. And then you find...
And has been protected over the years since independence.
Right.
And also the declaration of independence, so many countries, as soon as they became a republic, they said any human being within their borders has the right to actually be a Kenyan or has a right to be a member of DRC.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened with the Banyamulenge, who are within the borders of Congo and Rwanda. And it seems that Mariam, it just tells us one thing: this world once upon a time did not have boundaries. It just had spaces and it had corners. Okay, so hapa msipite ini land yetu. But of course they didn't have like borders, in that kama kuna drought on the other side, you stay on your side of the family. True. Or if you can actually get a green pasture on the other side.